Hey, today I'm going to demo my Egnater Tweaker amp. This is the 15 watt version, and this is a case where if you're researching this amp, I suggest you go to the website because it has a lot of information about all these little switches I'm going to show you. So, but just really quickly, I'm going to run through the switches and kind of explain what they do. And let me turn this off so I don't get a glare. First thing on the master volume, you have a vintage and a modern voicing for the overall amp. Your tone controls, treble, middle, and bass. You have a little toggle switch here that allows you to switch between USA, AC, and Brit. What that attempts to do is the USA is trying to sound like a Fender, AC is trying to sound like a Vox, and Brit is trying to sound like a Marshall. The gain, you've got hot and clean. Hot is very high gain, saturated. Clean is more, to me, like the kind of gain you get on a vintage Fender or something like that. Some more overall, bright and normal. Bright boosts your treble, tight versus deep. Deep kind of gives you a booming, more of a booming type of bass. So those are all your little knobs and switches. In the back, just really quickly, you've got a 4, 8, and 16 ohm selector switch. And this model does have an effects loop, which is nice. Power tubes are two 6L6s, and it's got three 12AX7 preamp tubes. So, all that said, and for all the switches and knobs and all that good stuff, like I said, you may want to go to the Egnater website and get a little bit more detail about what they do. But let's take a listen. Okay, and just so there's no question, I'm going to be running through a Bagheera 2x12 speaker cabinet. The guitar I'm going to be playing is this GNL ASAT Special Tribute because the pickups are pretty hot for a single coil, so it gets me somewhere in between a humbucker and a regular single coil. And I'm going to be plugged straight into the amp. No effects, no anything. Okay, what I'm going to attempt to do is just start playing, and hopefully you can see the settings and see as I switch the switches, and I'll try to call out what I'm doing. But I'm starting on the vintage volume control, basically. The USA tone controls. I've got my treble at about 5 o'clock, my middle at about 1 o'clock, my bass at about 3 o'clock. The gain I have about at 1 o'clock, and it's on clean, and I've got it set on bright, and I've got it set on tight. So this is a fairly clean sound. Okay, now I'm going to switch from tight to deep. Now I'm going to switch from bright to normal. Okay, now I'm going to switch from USA to AC. I think I hit my volume a little bit. switch from AC to Brit. And I'm going to change my master from vintage to modern. Okay, so that's kind of the clean on the edge, just starting to get a little bit overdriven. So now I'm going to switch it to hot gain. And I'm going to put the gain up to about 3 o'clock and the master down. Let's see how. Put down a little bit more. Master's probably sitting at 7 o'clock. Well, a little bit more. Okay, so you see it's pretty gainy. I'm going to switch back from modern to vintage. Okay, now switch from the Brit to the AC. Now from the AC to the USA. Okay, now from normal to bright. And from deep to tight. Okay, so that is just a few of the combinations that you can get out of this amp. And what I'm going to do now is just play a little bit so you can hear the amp for a little bit longer. To me, this amp sounds best kind of in the vintage Fender kind of mood. So let me set my amp the way I want it, and then we'll listen to it just a little bit more. Okay, and now I'm just going to play one of my original songs. And this is kind of set to a cleaner type of Fender sound. Okay, so again, there's tons of demos out on YouTube, so I suggest you go and listen and look at several more. But since I do have this amp, I wanted to just give you a taste of what it can do. Again, I think its power is in its cleaner sounds, but it does have a nice amount of gain once you switch it over to the hot setting. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I welcome yours in the comments. See you later.